Again, thank you so much to everyone who participated in this year's Teacher Appreciation Day.
ولا في الشارع الطابق الثالث اسمع على الكافيه واعطيك إجازة إجابات عادية كيف تعرف كيف تروح من جسمك؟ لا اسمع أنا بقول لك بتروح على فرصة تدعسي مرة على جسمك على جسمك يعني تضلك ماشي بالتنو وتديكي على الكافيه مباشرة اوكي تديك سموك بعطيك الوجبات اوكي لما ترجع ما عارف انتوا وين تسوين ولا صفر تجي صبر هيك بين شو قصة وين تصير لا بس اسمع إذا تروح قدام شوي بعد الجيس نشوف ما بعرفش إذا موجود كان في سكر كان في داونتاون خفيف عرفت وين؟ قدام محل
Alderman Pratt, now moves that the common council rise. Here is no objection, so ordered. Will the city clerk please inform the common council of any commendations or condolences to be acknowledged at this time?
Item 1, communication from the city clerk relating to explanatory and public resolutions being acknowledged for council. 1, resolutions recognizing the following as outstanding teachers in the city of Milwaukee: Emily Moore, Jennifer Veteran Little, Randy Owens, Trinette Page, Ingrid Walker Henry, Elisa Crawley, Emily Reynolds, Danae Kolahaman, Wonderful Stamps, Sierra Rowe, Christine Ricks, Troy Tyler, Alondra Garcia. 2, resolutions congratulating the following on being honored during the United Community Center's 56th anniversary celebration: Zern LK Water Solutions, Greater Milwaukee Foundation, Mike and Margie Munson, Viviana Espinosa Ruiz, Madeline Hernandez, Carolyn Isaias, Rafael Cervantes, Anunciado Puro. 3, resolutions congratulating the following on being honored during the Wisconsin Latino Entrepreneurial Legacy Gala 2.0: Juan Arvizu, Angelica Angel, Karina Castillo, Robert Montemayor, Marta Navaja, Rosetta Machisi, Gabriela Clara. 4, resolution congratulating the Wisconsin Lutheran High School varsity basketball team on winning the 2026 WIAA Division I state championship. 5, resolution congratulating the Juneau High School boys varsity basketball team on winning the WIAA Division IV state championship. 6, resolution congratulating Nigel James Jr. of the Marquette University men's basketball team for earning the Big East Freshman of the Year award. 7, resolution recognizing the organization of Chinese Americans, Wisconsin chapter's historical marker dedication. 8, resolution congratulating the Historic Third Ward Association on the occasion of its 50th anniversary. 9, resolution congratulating the Shell Academy of Irish Dance on becoming the 2026 Under 11 Mixed K-League Dance World Champions. 10, resolution recognizing the Palm Graduation Gala 2026 held in cooperation with the Roberto Hernandez Center at UW Milwaukee. 11, resolution recognizing Lesbian Visibility Week in the city of Milwaukee. 12, resolution congratulating Teresa Christensen on receiving the 2026 Herb Cole Principal Leadership Award. 13, resolution recognizing the Scholarship Awards banquet held by Prince Paul Masonic Foundation, Incorporated. 14, resolution expressing condolences to the family and friends of Sharon Martin. 15, resolution expressing condolences to the family and friends of Joanna Tatum. 16, resolution expressing condolences to the family and friends of Thomas Bergeron. 17, resolution expressing condolences to the family and friends of Samuel Johnson. 18, resolution congratulating Edward Easley on his retirement from the Milwaukee Law Schools. 19, resolution congratulating William Kirby on his retirement from the Department of Neighborhood Services.
Are there any objections to the full board commendations and condolences? If anyone wishes to be added as a co-sponsor to any of the commendations or condolences, please fill out the form in the presence of the Leesburg City Clerk for the close of the day. We will now take up reports of standing committees. Alderperson Jocasta Samanipa will now present the report of the License Committee.
The Licenses Committee recommends 2, file number 252108, motion relating to recommendations of the Licenses Committee relating to licenses included in the file. The following recommendations: renewal of a 20-day suspension of the Class A fermented malt license of permanent or car based upon the preponderance of the evidence of the police report, applicant, aldermanic, and neighbor testimony that demonstrates that the operation results in a threat to the health, safety, or welfare of the public. For the premise located at 418 East Center Street, doing business as T2 Raymont Food in the 6th Aldermanic District. Renewal with a 10-day suspension of the food dealer and food peddler license of Lucio Antonio Perez based upon the preponderance of the evidence in the applicant, Milwaukee Health Department, and aldermanic testimony that demonstrates that the operation results in a threat to the health, safety, or welfare of the public with a failure to comply with the approved plan of operations. For the premise located at 1039 West National Avenue, doing business as Tacos Balaguzza LLC in the 12th Aldermanic District. Let the record reflect that no objections have been filed to any matter in this report.
Have the members of the Common Council read the report and recommendations of the License Committee in these matters? Roll call, please.
Alderman Pratt. Aye. Chambers. Aye. Crowder.
Aye.
Coleman. Aye. Westmoreland. Aye. Cobbs. Alderwoman Cobbs. Jackson. Zanriva.
Aye.
Taylor.
I actually have, one that I have to pull back to committee.
There'll be
Okay.
an opportunity for motions.
Aye.
Ford.
Aye.
Burgellis. Aye. Spiker.
Aye.
Stanford. Aye. Mr. President.
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excused.
14 ayes, 1 excused. Are there any motions with respect to these matters? Alderwoman Taylor.
Yeah, so there was, one for kitchen 11, and there's some, more evidence that, needs to be presented, and I'd like to pull that, another one back.
Send it back to the committee.
Yes.
What's that? Is there a file number for that one?
I apologize that I didn't.
Address, please. Go ahead.
Yes, it's 6800, with Brown here.
Okay, the motion by Alderman Taylor is to return to committee. the license at 6800 West Frontier. Any objections to that? Hearing none, so ordered. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a vote of the common council of the members to adopt the recommendations of the license committee contained in file number 252108. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Pratt. Chambers. Broward. Conlon. Westmoreland. Collins. Jackson. Summerhill. Taylor. Ford. Regardless. Alderman Regardless. Spicer. Sanford. Mr. President.
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excused.
14 ayes, 1 excused. Alderwoman Malele A. Cobbs will now present the report of the Public Works Committee.
The Public Works Committee recommends passage of 3, a substitute ordinance renaming South Cesar Chavez Drive from West Mitchell Street to West Pierce Street, South 16th Street. The Public Works Committee recommends adoption of 4, a substitute resolution relating to the acceptance of the average cost of replacing the privately owned portion of the lead water service line. 5, resolution authorizing the Wisconsin Department of Transportation to convert, access, and utilize portions of one city-owned property for the South Lincoln Memorial Drive project from Jones Street to Car Ferry Drive in the 14th Aldermanic District. 6, substitute resolution authorizing the city controller to set up and fund the procurement and construction phase of the Light Share expansion project for the Wisconsin Department of Transportation in the city of Milwaukee, with a total estimated cost of $2,074,695. 7, resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works and the Controller to execute a state municipal agreement with Wisconsin Department of Transportation for the installation of traffic signal improvements and to fund preliminary engineering for the project at 62 intersections in various Aldermanic districts, with a total estimated cost of $2,150,400, with an estimated grant for share of $1,720,320, and an estimated city share of $430,080. 8, substitute resolution determining it necessary to make various non-accessible public improvements at various locations and appropriating funds for these purposes, with the city engineering cost estimated to be $1,635,000, for a total estimated cost of these projects being $18,400,000. 9, substitute resolution approving construction of non-accessible public improvements at various locations and appropriating funds for these purposes, with the city construction cost estimated to be $1,333,000, for a total estimated cost of these projects being $2,043,000. 10, resolution authorizing a permanent limited easement and a temporary limited easement with Wisconsin Department of Transportation on the properties at 8505 West Appleton Avenue and 8520 AD Jag West Appleton Avenue for the right to construct and maintain a sidewalk in the 2nd and 5th Aldermanic District. 11, resolution directing the Commissioner of Public Works to execute a document entitled First Revision State Municipal Agreement for a state-led highway project with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation for the program of design, real estate, acquisition, and construction of Prospect Avenue from East Wells Street to East Bradford Avenue. 12, resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works and the Controller to execute a revised agreement and transfer funds for the previously established project for the Wisconsin Department of Transportation and the City of Milwaukee for cost participation for traffic control improvements, with a total estimated cost increase for the project of $0. 13, resolution directing the Commissioner of Public Works to execute a document entitled First Revision State Municipal Agreement for a state-led highway project with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation for the program of design, real estate acquisition, and construction of North Farwell Avenue and East Bradford Avenue from North Prospect Avenue to North Lakeview Drive. The Public Works Committee recommends confirmation of 14, appointment of Linda Elmer to the City Advisory Committee on the naming of public buildings, facilities, and streets by the Mayor. 15, appointment of Esperanza Gutierrez to the Citizen Advisory Committee on the naming of public buildings, facilities, and streets by the Mayor. The Public Works Committee recommends placing on file 16, resolution relating to the provision of support services for city events. 17, resolution relating to expenditure of funds to be reimbursed by greater than anticipated revenue for the purchase of low-emission vehicles. 18, communication relating to semi-annual reporting to the Common Council by the Milwaukee Water Works and the Department of Public Works relating to lead service line replacements.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Hearing none, Alderwoman Cox moves for approval of the amended report of the Public Works Committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderwoman Pratt.
Aye.
Chambers. Aye. Broward.
Aye.
Bauman. Alderman Bauman. Aye. Westmoreland. Aye. Cox. Jackson. Assembly. Taylor.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
Regardless.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stanley. Aye. Mr. President,
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excuse.
14 ayes, 1 excuse. The committee report is adopted. Alderman Peter Burgos will now present the report of the Finance Personnel Committee.
The Finance Personnel Committee recommends passage of 19, an ordinance relating to optional holidays. 20, a substitute ordinance to further amend the 2026 rates of pay and positions in the city service. 21, a substitute ordinance to further amend the 2026 offices and positions in the city service. The Finance and Personnel Committee recommends adoption of 22, resolution directing the Controller's Office to provide a quarterly expenditure report for all departmental accounts, including special funds and special purpose accounts, to the Common Council. 23, substitute resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from the MPD Federal Forfeiture Revenue Contribution Account to the Police Department's budget. 24, substitute resolution authorizing attendance at conventions, seminars, and other travel. 25, substitute resolution reserving and appropriating $1.6 million from the 2026 Common Council Contingent Fund to the 2026 Damages and Claims Fund Special Purpose Account, and reserving and appropriating $250,000 from the 2026 Common Council Contingent Fund to the 2026 Outside Council Expert Witness Fund Special Purpose Account. The Finance and Personnel Committee recommends placing on file 26, communication from the Department of Administration on the status of the Enterprise Resource Planning System replacement. 27, communication from the Department of Employee Relations, amending the salary and positions ordinances relating to clerical or administrative corrections. 28, communication from the Department of Employee Relations relating to classification studies scheduled for city service commission action. 29, communication from the Office of Controller relating to the report on the Police Department fleet procurement to disposal account for the city of Milwaukee. 30, communication from the Department of Employee Relations amending the salary and positions ordinances relating to the Department of Compliance and Engagement and the classification of the Director of the Department of Compliance and Engagement. 31, communication from the Department of Employee Relations amending the salary ordinance to provide incentive pay for the positions of property management supervisor and property manager in the Department of City Development.
Chair recognizes Alderman Stanford.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please add me as a co-sponsor to 251444, item number 22, please.
Let the record reflect co-sponsorship of item number 22, Alderman Stanford. Chair recognizes Alderman Broward.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'd like to be registered in opposition to item 23.
Let the record reflect opposition to item 23 by Alderman Broward. Chair recognizes Alderperson Samaripa.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Permission to change my vote from affirmative to abstain on file number 252060.
Let the record reflect. Is there any objection? Okay, hearing none, so ordered. Chair recognizes Alderman Stanford.
Yes. Does anyone know I apologize for not doing it. Does anybody know the amount for the forfeiture fund? Sure.
Chair of the committee, do you remember the amount? Not exactly 25.
Mr. President, 1.13655. What I said was the allocation designated? Yeah, it was. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Alderman Chambers. Any further discussion?
Mr. President.
Chair recognizes Alderman Chambers.
Some of the new news going to the urgency as far as that one, I like to make great love to my one.
Let the record reflect no on file 203 by Alderman Chambers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Alderman Gillis moves for adoption of the recommendations of the Finance Personnel Committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Pratt. Chambers. Broward. Bowman. Westmoreland. Haas. Jackson. Zalman. Taylor. Moore. Burgess. Spiker. Stanford. Mr. President. 14 ayes, 1 excuse.
14 ayes, 1 excuse. Alderman DeAndre Jackson will now present the report of the Judiciary and Legislation Committee.
The Judiciary and Legislation Committee recommends adoption of 32 substitute resolution relating to the appeal of James and Ainara Lindsay for property damage. 33, resolution approving a contract between the City of Milwaukee and Greshka Law Group for legal services related to securing an employment-based non-immigrant visa for a prospective Department of Employee Communications employee. 34, resolution authorizing the Office of the City Attorney to contract for legal services relating to conducting and responding to an audit of software licensing agreements. 35, resolution authorizing settlement of claims in the lawsuit entitled 875 East 1 LLC and others versus the City of Milwaukee. 36, resolution canceling real estate taxes levied against certain parcels bearing tax fee numbers on the 2025 tax roll, plus interest applicable to date of repayment if appropriate. 37, resolution authorizing settlement of lawsuit entitled Stephen K. Wood versus the City of Milwaukee and others, United States District Court, Eastern District of Wisconsin. 38, resolution authorizing payment of the claim of Josephine Purpura. 39, resolution relating to a cross appeal by the Commissioner of Assessments of a determination of the State of Wisconsin Board of Assessors relating to tax key number 355-0431-117. 40, resolution relating to a cross appeal of the Commissioner of Assessments of a determination of the State of Wisconsin Board of Assessors relating to tax key number 355-0312-111. The Judiciary and Legislation Committee recommends placing on file for 1, communication from the Equal Rights Commission relating to its 2025 annual report. And the Judiciary and Legislation Committee recommends disallowance and indefinite postponement of items 42 through 47 claims against the city.
Chair recognizes Alderman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to push a simple amendment for file 251883. I move that the move to amend our council file 251883 by eliminating the fourth whereas clause that reads, whereas the health department intends to fund the legal services, racial law group, and associates visa fee with grant money from accounts RN 151-534-000. And further move to add a new whereas clause that reads, the Department of Emergency Communications intends to fund the legal services of racial law and all associated visa fees for the H-1B visa petition with money from account 201-3400-R99-63405. And further move for adoption. Resolution.
Okay, any objection to the simple amendment? Hearing none, so ordered. Is there any further discussion of the committee report? Hearing none, Alderman Jackson moves for adoption of the recommendations of Judiciary and Legislation Committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Pratt. Chambers. Broward. Bowman. Westmoreland. Haas. Jackson. Zalman. Taylor. Moore. Burgess. Spiker. Stanford. Mr. President. 14 ayes.
14 ayes, 1 excuse. The report is adopted. Alderman Scott Spiker will now present the report of the Public Safety Council Committee.
The Public Safety and Health Committee recommends passage of an ordinance relating to traffic control, 49, a substitute ordinance relating to traffic control, 50, a substitute ordinance relating to the time-limited truck zones. The committee recommends adoption of 51, a substitute resolution authorizing the expenditure of opioid settlement funds. The committee recommends confirmation of 52, appointment of Karen Hyman as a community wellness and safety director by the mayor. The committee recommends placing on file item 53, resolution relating to the access to fire and police commission meetings by members of the Common Council. 54, communication from the Fire and Police Commission related to standard operating procedures. And item 55, a substitute ordinance relating to law enforcement identification.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Allah.
Chair recognizes Alderman Spiker.
I'd like to be recorded representative no on 52 consistent with my vote for today.
Let the record reflect no, 52. For Alderman Spiker, Chair recognizes Alderman Cox.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please, marking as an abstention from item 52.
Let the record reflect abstention on item 52. Chair recognizes Alderman Moore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like my vote to be consistent for item number 52.
Let the record reflect no for item 52, Alderman Moore. Chair recognizes Alderman Brower.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President. I have some lyrics to read a motion here under the provisions of section 421(6)A of the Walking Charter. I would take file number 251797 from the Public Safety and Health Committee. Okay? And I have another motion after you, one second. Okay, for the clerk, have the requirements of S 421-6 of the Milwaukee City Charter been satisfied with respect to this file?
Yes, they have.
The motion is in order. Is there any discussion? Alderman Brown, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. The first thing I'd like to do is make a procedural motion to substitute, and then I would like to make remarks, if that motion passes, I need to replace substitute 2 of Common Council file number 251797 with the attached proposed arrangement.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
We have to take it out of the committee, get it on the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry, the actual thing. Okay,
So we can do a roll call. We can do a roll call to take it out of the committee?
Yep.
On item 55, to take it out of committee, Alderwoman Pratt.
Aye.
Chambers. Brower.
Aye.
Bauman.
Aye.
Westmoreland.
Aye.
Cobb's.
Aye.
Jackson. Zamaripa.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. Moore. Aye. Burgess.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stafford.
Aye.
Mr. President.
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excuse.
14 ayes, 1 excuse. Alderman Brown, you can talk about the motion now.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I apologize.
For the following.
I'd like to make a motion to replace substitute 2 of Common Council file number 251797 with the attached proposed substitute B and further move passage of the ordinance as substitute.
Okay. Is there any objection to that motion? Alderman Bowman, your light was on. Is this about this or something else?
Look back at item 52.
Okay, we'll go back to that. On Alderman Brower's motion. Any objections? Okay, hearing none, so ordered. Okay, now we're actually going to vote on the file, now that we have this on. So, you make the motion to accept the file?
May I speak to Mr. Griffin?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, thank you so much. Colleagues, I really appreciate you all bearing with me as we make some procedural motions here to move this file forward. This, for everybody's occasion here, this item was the item that was held at the last council meeting, and we had a series of productive conversations with the city attorney's office. That I believe now this file has the best chance of withstanding a court challenge and allowing us to do something when it comes to the ICE agents that may be descending and actually are already descending on this city in force. What this ordinance does, first of all, it presents findings that declare, that we oppose unmasked law enforcement officers of any type of any agency throughout the city, that we want people to know what agency is enforcing the law. And I can't even believe I have to say this right now in America today, that this is what's going on, that we have to demand that our federal government identify themselves when they're supposedly enforcing the law here in this city and in other cities. So it presents some findings. Additionally, it requires the law enforcement of any agency, including ICE, be identified when they're here. And if they do not have a badge or other identifying information on them, then they will answer the question of what agency and their badge number or their name when they are asked by a member of the public or a member of our law enforcement here. We are going to require ICE to identify themselves when they are here in the city of Milwaukee, and I want to use this ordinance right here as the best chance of withstanding a legal challenge. I want us to adopt this today so we can lay down some rules for when ICE is further present and continues to be present in this city. Absolutely important. It is absolutely important. We need to do every single thing that we can. We cannot take action by this council to stop the Department of Homeland Security from doing what it's doing, but we can take steps to prepare ourselves legally to bring a challenge against ICE and force ICE to operate in the best way it can. And additionally, we can mobilize and organize our constituents to be ready. I've been so proud of colleagues here. I'm hearing left and right about colleagues who are helping to do trainings in their district, who are working with community organizations. In the 3rd district, people are getting trained as ICE verifiers. They're getting ready to stand up. So if and when this happens, we are prepared. And what's the most interesting about this as well is that, it may not be right when this happens. It may be that the Trump administration waits this out and tries to bring this back around later when they think everyone's sleeping or not paying attention, right? And let everything from Minneapolis die down. But here in Milwaukee, we are working to be ready, and we are going to be diligent. I am so proud of constituents of mine. We're not only here in the gallery today and from other organizations who are here in the gallery today, but are taking action, getting themselves ready. We're not going to be able to wave a magic wand here at the council to stop ICE, but we as local elected leaders can be the impetus to move our residents and our constituents to action and build the wave that's going to be necessary and the movement that will be necessary to stop this administration and take this country back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. For obvious reasons, this ordinance is a sore spot for me. Honestly, I want to start off by saying I fully support any and all efforts of making sure that the public is protected by this tyranny that is the federal government. But some of the language within this ordinance perfectly displays the concerns that are just going on throughout the entire community in Milwaukee. I'll call for first the use of face coverage to disguise how law enforcement officers mentally affects the public perception of law enforcement officer community interaction and accountability. We have in the inner city of Milwaukee, north side of Milwaukee, northwest side of Milwaukee, we have young individuals, grown individuals since the pandemic, numerous of individuals walking around with face coverings, whether that is COVID masks or, fake gatherings known as poo shiesties, walking around causing harm and disruption in our communities. I've had, legislation out that would kind of do justice citywide, to give some of the residents who have those same concerns a peace of mind. However, here we are. I guess I would pose a question, and it's not to anyone, it's just what makes this more important than what the community wants to protect their own community. I feel like we're taking the precedent because of what's going on with the federal government, and we're putting the wayside of those residents, those store owners. There are businesses that are closing because they're essentially getting robbed with those people wearing those face masks and can't protect themselves. But we're here jumping the gun, and creating this ordinance, which in heart, I support, but just the way we got to it, I just can't support. So, Mr. President, with that, I'll be exchanging for this. Thank you.
Okay, so
Reflect on the chair's suspension, chair recognizes Alderman McGovern.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to the authors and all of the sponsors on this item. This has been a contentious issue, not just for people in our community, but citizens and residents throughout the country. Remember where we were 3 weeks ago when this file was held by the city attorney, who had concerns about its legality and enforceability. We made some changes with the city attorney's direction. Some may be disappointed that this version of the resolution waters down what was passed in committee and what the community supported. But let us remember that this file is not the end of the road for this concern. This council's fight to protect our residents will continue because people throughout the country are ready to stand up for this administration. This is a small step forward, an important step forward, and it is not the end of our fight.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to thank Alderman Brower and our colleagues. As already been pointed out, this has been a long road, and to see this final now before us, just about to get passed through this body, it is a tremendous source of pride. And I do want to thank City Attorney Evan Boyke, who he and his team worked very hard, very diligently. They were committed to getting to yes, in my opinion. And so I appreciate their work with Alderman Brower to make sure that we can make this file a reality for our constituency, to make sure that we can now prohibit law enforcement officers at every level of government from wearing face coverings to conceal their identities is a huge boon for the city of Milwaukee and its people. I want to thank the Milwaukee Police Department too, Mr. President. I know that the work with them was on the SOP motion that we did to ensure that our Milwaukee police officers will not mask to conceal their identity and that they will be clearly identified so we can tell our local officers from a federal agent. These are huge wins when I think of just a couple of months ago when we rolled out the ISAL package here one morning with so many of our constituents. About a dozen files were introduced and we called them ISAL MKE, and today we have passed over half of them. And so I want to thank this and move forward to voting yes in just a few moments now. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
thank you.
Okay, we'll take separate action. You want to do a roll call on this file?
On item number 55, Alderwoman Pratt. Aye. Chambers.
Abstain.
Brower.
Proudly aye. Aye.
Thank you. Ballman.
Aye.
Westmoreland.
Aye.
Cox. Aye. Jackson. Thank you. Tamaripa. Aye. Taylor. Aye. Moore. Aye. Borgelis.
Aye.
Swiger.
Aye.
Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President,
Aye.
13 ayes, 1 excuse, and 1 abstain.
13 ayes, 1 excuse, 1 abstention. Thank you. Let the record reflect no on item 52. We'll take separate action on that item. Any other discussion before we move into the roll call on item 52? Roll call, please.
Item 52. Alderwoman Pratt. Aye. Chambers.
Aye.
Brower.
Aye.
Ballman. Westmoreland.
Aye.
Cox.
Abstain.
Jackson. Zamarika.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. Moore. No. Burgillis.
Aye.
Swiker. Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President.
Abstain.
9 ayes, 3 noes, 1 excuse, and 2 abstain.
9 ayes, 3 noes, 1 excuse, 2 abstentions. Thank you. Any further discussion on the committee report? Hearing none, Alderman Spiker moves for adoption of the recommendations of the Public Safety and Health Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Pratt. Aye. Chambers.
Aye.
Brower.
Aye.
Ballman.
Aye.
Westmoreland.
Aye.
Cox. Jackson. Zamarika.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. Moore. Aye. Burgillis.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President.
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excuse.
Alderman Robert Baumann will now present the report of the Zoning, Neighborhood and Development Committee.
The zoning neighborhoods and development committee recommends passage of 56, an ordinance relating to fees imposed for the posting of an emergency order on a premise. The committee recommends adoption of 57, resolution approving the amendment number 5 to the project plan for tax incremental district number 68, known doing business as 5th Ward, 1st Place, and authorizing additional expenditures and approving a development agreement in the 4th and 12th automatic districts. 58, resolution approving amendment number 2 to the project plan and authorizing expenditures for tax incremental district number 60, known as Milwaukee Intermodal Passenger Station Project in the 4th automatic district. 59, resolution authorizing the sale back to the estate of Robert J. Arthur's former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 1330 West Euclid Avenue in the 14th automatic district. 60, resolution authorizing the sale back to Millionaire Enterprise Group LLC, former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 2839 North 21st Street in the 15th automatic district. 61, resolution authorizing the sale back to Global Estates LLC, former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 2845 47 North 27th Street in the 15th automatic district. 62, resolution authorizing the sale back to E&K Capital Holdings LLC, former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 4177 North 19th Place in the 1st automatic district. 63, resolution authorizing the sale back to E&K Capital Holdings LLC, former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 451618 Mesquite Avenue in the 1st automatic district. 64, resolution authorizing the sale back to Michael and Viviana resident, former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 5262 North 15th Street in the 1st automatic district. 65, resolution authorizing the sale back to Global Estates LLC, former owners of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 1408 West Emporia Avenue in the 6th automatic district. 66, resolution authorizing the sale back to Shanti S. Haynes, former owner of the city-owned tax-deeded property located at 3882 North Victoria Avenue in the 6th automatic district. The committee recommends confirmation of 67, reappointment of Sharonda Vernon to the Bronzeville Advisory Committee by Alderman Cox. 68, reappointment of Sharonda Warren to the Bronzeville Advisory Committee by Alderman Lily Cox. The committee recommends placing on file item 69, resolution directing the Commissioner of the Department of City Development to prepare documents necessary to to establish Caesar E. Shabazz Tax Incremental District, and number 70, resolution authorizing the sale of city-owned tax unit property located at 4016A West Silver Spring in the first parliament district.
Chair recognizes Alderwoman Moore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to present a simple amendment for item number 56. I need to amend County Council file number 252103 by changing the amount of posting in section 833.43.5-E from 180 to 360.
Okay, simple amendment, Alderwoman Moore. Hearing none, so ordered. Is there any further discussion of the committee report? Hearing none, Alderman Baumann moves for adoption of recommendations on the neighborhood development committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderwoman Pratt. Aye. Chambers.
Aye.
Broward.
Aye.
Baldwin.
Aye.
Westmoreland.
Aye.
Hobbs. Jackson. Maripa.
Aye.
Taylor. Moore. Gillis.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President. 14 ayes, 1 excused.
14 ayes, 1 excused, committee report is adopted. Alderman Russell Stanford II will now present the report of the Community and Economic Development Committee. Sir.
The Community and Economic Development Committee recommends adoption of 71. Subject to resolution directing the Department of City Development to work with the Milwaukee Health Department and other relevant agencies to create strategies for the retention and attraction of full-service grocery stores and pharmacies. 72. Subject to resolution related to the allocation of funds from the Large Impact Development Fund. 73. Resolution related to the acceptance and expenditure of the Wisconsin Arts for 2026 Regranting Program Grant. 74. Substitute resolution designated April 26 to be accepted 2026 as Youth Victory over Violence Week in the city of Milwaukee. 75. Substitute resolution reallocating up to $1,000 in the Community and Economic Development Fund from the Milwaukee Business Valley Entrepreneurship Summit to the 2026 Girls' Day at City Hall. 76. Resolution rescinding County Council file number 251658 relating to an official city event. 77. Substitute resolution allocating up to $11,000 from the Milwaukee Community Excellence Fund for official city events. 78. Substitute resolution related to the expenditure of funds from the grocery store retention fund for the purpose of healthy foods access. 79. Substitute resolution authorizing a partnership between the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee subsidiaries to improve collaboration between the city and youth serving organizations. The committee recommends confirmation of the appointment of Michael Behrens to the Business Improvement District number 4 for the mayor. 81, reappointment of Thomas Ingrams to the Business Improvement District number 21 by the mayor. 82, reappointment of Josh Brother to the Business Improvement District number 51 by the mayor. 83, appointment of Mary Reed to serve as the Director of the Department of Compliance and Engagement by the mayor. The committee recommends placing on file item 84, communication from the Department of Administration, Community Development Grants Administration relating to current fund balance and status of the previous appropriations.
Chair recognizes Alderman Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please add me as those ones. Item 72, 251, and 78, 252,
Let the record reflect co-sponsorship of Alderman Chamber for item 72 and 78. Chair recognizes Alderman Stanford.
Thank you, Mr. President. A major step towards strengthening food access and supporting local businesses and addressing long-standing inequities in our neighborhoods. The Common Council today is approving a comprehensive series of actions aimed at stabilizing, expanding grocery store and pharmacy access across the city. A total of $2.8 million will be invested in this effort. And 71, items 71, 72, 78, and then when we reach steering the rules, items 85 and 87 are all in this effort, but a team effort by many of my colleagues that I'm sure will speak today. So, in that same spirit, colleagues, thank you. Community partners and members of the Food Justice Collective, thank you for coming together in this moment of treasure. Today represents more than policy. It represents progress. Together we took meaningful action to address food apartheid, strengthen our neighborhoods, and support the businesses that serve our residents every day. Because of this collaboration, we now have the tools, the resources, and the framework to build a stronger, more equitable system, one that delivers fresh, healthy, and quality food alongside accessible pharmacy services to every corner of our city. This work was not done alone. It was built through partnership, through persistence, and through a shared belief that our residents deserve better. So I'm proud of the work we've done today and we're doing today. We look forward to us bringing health, access, and pharmacy back to our community together. The people who at heart who really want to, who care about this community, really want to provide. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chair. Recognized.
Oh, I'd like to be added to number 78 as a co-sponsor.
Let the record reflect, co-sponsorship of item number 78. Alderman Taylor, Chair recognizes Alderman Moore.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please have me as co-sponsors for item number 74 and 78.
Co-sponsorship by Alderman Moore, item 74 and 78. Chair recognizes Alderman Vergillis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please add me as co-sponsor of 71, 72, and 78.
71, 72, 78, co-sponsorship by Alderman Vergillis. Chair recognizes Alderman Westmoreland.
Please add me as co-sponsor of items 71, 85, 86, and 87.
We're not at 85 yet, keep it to 6. So it was.
So do I have to wait?
Yes, you do. 70 what? 71?
When do I have to wait until?
So that's 71, Alderman Westmoreland, which will be the one?
71.
71, co-sponsorship by Alderman Westmoreland. Chair recognizes Alderman Brown.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would also like to be added as a co-sponsor for items 71, 72, and 78. And I'd like to just further remark, I really appreciate the work of colleagues. Do everything we can to remedy this situation with these grocery stores closing all across the district, all across the city, excuse me, and it is. We even have one right here in the 3rd district, and I just want to mention the River West Co-op, they closed as well, right here in the 3rd district and the 6th district that serve a lot of my constituents in the community. This effort today is really a great step forward to remedying some of the food disparities that we have and the food apartheid that we're going to be declaring as well in the next committee report. I really appreciate the work being done here. In the future, I think our efforts as well should look to what is going on in New York City. I'm really proud of my comrade, Zora Mandani, who there in New York, who is opening the first city-run grocery store in New York City as well. And I think in the future, we'll need to look towards that when private capital continues to fail the residents of London. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you add me as a co-sponsor to item number 74, file number 252-087?
All right, let the record reflect all the persons on the sponsorship, co-sponsorship of 74. Chair recognizes Alderman Westmoreland.
Please add me as a co-sponsor to item 72.
Let the record reflect co-sponsorship by Alderman Westmoreland, 72. Chair recognizes Alderman Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Requesting unanimous consent for items 71, 72, and 78. And with that being said, I'd like to thank my colleagues, Alderman Pratt and Alderman Stanford, for their hard work on accelerating the constant need in our community for fresh food access and access to keep our grocery stores in our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Okay, let the record reflect the motion by Alderman Chambers is unanimous consent for 71, 72, 78. Any objections to that? Hearing none, so ordered. Is there any further discussion of the committee report? Hearing none, Alderman Stanford moves for adoption and the recommendations of the Community and Economic Development Committee. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderwoman Pratt. Aye. Chambers. Aye. Brown.
Aye.
Alden. Aye. Westmoreland.
Aye.
Cox. Aye. Jackson. Zamorino.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. Moore. Aye. Vergillis.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President,
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excuse.
14 ayes, no excused, the committee report is adopted. Alderman Robert Baumann will now present the report of the Student Rules Committee.
The Series of Rules Committee recommends passage of 85, a substitute ordinance relating to a notice of closure for food establishments. The committee recommends adoption of 86, substitute resolution relating to the designation of Milwaukee as a certified sensory inclusive city. 87, resolution declaring food apartheid a public health emergency and directing coordinated city action. Excuse me.
Alderman Westmoreland.
Yes, sir. Time.
Council time.
Please add me as a co-sponsor to items 85, 86, and 87.
Let the record reflect co-sponsorship Alderman Westmoreland, 85, 86, 87. Chair recognizes Alderman Pratt.
Thank you. I just want to talk about item 85 and just to say, food justice is not about charity. It's
Oh, sorry.
food justice is not about charity. It's about the right of the community to grow, access, and control the food that's sustainable. And that's what this ordinance is doing, to make sure that people, our neighbors and our residents don't wake up in food desert. That's been the case all too often. I'm happy to learn that the Counsil Association wants to work with us, and I look forward to working with them going forward, as well as our residents throughout the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Alderman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's what I'm getting, like Rick said before, I thank my colleagues. Finding money is the hard part, putting ideas together, getting the right recipe to get things done. That's a clip of that. I want to thank my colleagues again for leading me and putting this work forward together. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Alderman Chambers.
Same. Thanks for unanimous consent, 85, 86, and 87.
The motion by Alderman Chambers is unanimous consent for item 85, 86, 87. Any objections? Hearing none, to order. Alderman House, the letter.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Healthy food access, is not a privilege, it's a right. As we watch full-service grocery stores close down, in our community, as well as access to pharmacy, which for so many, is access to like, saving and prolonging, medication. I think it's incumbent upon us to at least attempt to do something, to both retain and to attract, grocery and pharmacy. So I appreciate the efforts, my colleagues, to do that. I reserve, and I continue to think of ideas of how to do it as well, but I reserve, I guess, cheers, and kudos, until we see, the full impact. Because the truth is, we can think of many things, but making sure that those things truly have the impact of making sure that there's access to fresh fruit and vegetables for our community, and making sure that those who need pharmacy have access to it. The recommendations that come out of these finders, and those that we choose to fund, and those that we choose to pursue, and the impact that that then has on the community. That's the outcomes that I'm waiting to see and want to hear, and working with my colleagues to help ensure happiness. And there are many community folks, residents and organizations who are already working on all of these issues, both the recommendations and proof of concept. And I look forward to continuing to work with them as well, as we fight for what truly is the right for all the communities. Again, thank you for council members having concern and being willing to roll up their sleeves to think of solutions for it. But again, I think we all should keep our eye on the impact of this work. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I just want to take a second, item 86, I want to express my gratitude to Molly King for the Department of Employee Relations, Tony Snell of Visit Milwaukee, Clifton Crump, my Policy and Administration Director, for highlighting the importance of this next step moving forward for us as a city as we continue to push the envelope in making the city as accepting and accommodating and accessible as possible for both our residents and visitors. And I want to thank all the co-sponsors and the unanimous consent on item 86. So thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Alderman Baumann moves for adoption and the recommendations of steering the rules committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderwoman Pratt. Aye. Chambers.
Aye.
Broward.
Aye.
Almond.
Aye.
Westmoreland.
Aye.
Cox.
Aye.
Jackson. Zamarika.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Burgess.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President,
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 excuse.
14 ayes, 1 excuse, the committee report is adopted. We will now take up communications from city officers.
Item number 252116, communication from the city clerk relating to service of papers.
Order file.
Item number 252117, communication from the city clerk relating to various commendatory and dilatory resolutions to be acknowledged and approved by the county council.
Order file.
Item number 252118, communication from the city clerk relating to official notices and reports.
Order file.
File number 252120, appointment of Alderman DeAndre Jackson and Rafael Garcia to the Housing Trust Fund Advisory Board by the County Council President.
Order file.
File number 252121, appointment of Andrea Malman, LA, as a Milwaukee Continuum of Care Coalition representative to the Housing Trust Fund Advisory Board.
Order file.
File number 252159, appointment of Jim Roll to the City Information Management Committee by the Mayor.
Order file.
File number 252164, reappointment of Matt Kowalski to the Library Board by the Mayor.
Order file.
And reappointment of Michael Morgan to the Library Board by the Mayor.
Are there any items for immediate adoption?
There are 3 matters for immediate adoption. Item number 88, file number 251179, resolution approving final certified survey maps. Item number 89, file number 252225, resolution recognizing Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and designating it as an annual official city event. And item number 90, file number 252229, resolution relating to the arrest and detention of Salah Salzer.
Is there any discussion on these items? Chair recognizes Alderperson Salalipa.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to be evident as co-sponsor to file number 252225, as well as file number 252329.
Okay, let the record reflect co-sponsorship of Alderperson Salalipa for 252225 and 252229. Chair recognizes Alderman Brown.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President. I also like to be added as a co-sponsor for item number 225, and I have remarks on item 19. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, thank you so much. I wanted to bring this item forward, colleagues. I appreciate you bearing with the urgency that I'm presenting today, to bring forward this resolution related to the arrest and detention of Celeste Stewart. Brother Salai is the president of the Islamic Society of Milwaukee, and on March 30th of this year, just a few weeks ago, he was detained by ICE and is currently being held in the Clay County Detention Center in the town of Brazil, Indiana. This is an absolute abomination. I really want to admonish members of the media who suggested that we were being the boy who, the people who cried wolf by worrying about ICE too much. Right? But look, ICE is here right now and abducting our citizens, and they're targeting some of the most prominent. Why are they doing that? Why have they done this specifically with Celeste Stewart? I urge every colleague to vote. I would love a roll call on the immediate adoption item for this, and I urge colleagues to support this item, this resolution, related to the detention of Celeste Stewart, because we need to take a stand right now. What's going on specifically with Celeste Stewart is he is a leader in the movement for the liberation of Palestine.
Yes. Yeah.
because he has been such.
Israel has taken residency in Milwaukee at Beta Philanthropies. You haven't protested Beta Philanthropies, who's passing out money to UWM, the Milwaukee Public Library, all of the institutions inside of this city are being funded by Zionists. Revolutionary socialism is the only answer, not democratic socialism that chooses to negotiate with the oppressor, brother. We are not doing that. We need revolutionary socialism, pragmatic action, not begging the oppressor for liberation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think it's important that we take action at every single level and call out when we call out injustice, when we see it, the work that we're doing.
It's right in your face. It's right at your house. It's 1 mile up the street, and you've never been there. You've never been there. You showing out. This is optics. This is performative. Revolutionary socialism doesn't negotiate with ICE. Fascism will not be stopped by negotiations. Revolutionary socialism is the only thing that can stop fascism, brother.
Okay, thank you. So what I'd like to do is urge colleagues to support this right now. We need to raise our voices as a body and demand that Salah Sarsour be released here right now.
Free that man! Stop talking and let's go free him! You here! Let's go free him!
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President. I'd like to make some statements here. I'd like to use my position on the county council. I would acknowledge that we did not, by passing this resolution, release Salah from the Clay Detention Center, unfortunately. What we can do collectively is continue to raise up this situation. It is just, we're uplifting this because we need this story to get out there. We need to be using every single tool we have. I want to just acknowledge that the family of Salah Sarsour is here with us today too, and the bravery that they've exhibited in the face of all this is commendable. Thank you all so much. The work and your fight for the freedom of Palestine was specifically called for him to be released. He is being denied his rights, and I want to specifically point out that in this resolution, we've acknowledged that the arrest is related to charges that were filed, related to an incident that occurred when he was living in the West Bank. And when he was arrested in the West Bank, I just want to point this out here. I want to point out that when he was living in the West Bank during his second detention, I'm going to read directly from the writ of habeas corpus that was filed in the Southern District of Indiana here. During the second detention, he was subject to nearly 90 days of solitary confinement and excruciating torture. Salah Sarsour was beaten every day. This is in Israeli custody. Beaten every day, often until he fell unconscious. He was only allowed 3 hours of sleep every 72 hours. He was also deprived of food for a long period of time, losing over 40 pounds. And so this is what ICE is alleging here. The confession that was issued in his detention in the West Bank is part of the case that ICE is using to arrest and detain Salah Sarsour, a confession that was extracted under torture. That is unconscionable for us to get this kind of work in the United States. It is absolutely appalling. We don't stand this no matter what you make.
Don't touch me. I can leave. Don't fucking touch me. That's what you don't want to do. Don't touch me, brother.
President, point of order.
Don't touch me.
Can we get that handled?
You want to surround me, get the fuck from around me, give me some space, brother. Won't you move out the way so I can walk? Move out the fucking way, what are you doing? Move, this isn't my stuff. Move out the way so I can get up out of here. Who you think you are? Excuse me, you guys, all the civil people, this fucking bourgeoisie, petty motherfuckers y'all in here having these goddamn buddy therapy talks with the oppressor, and I'm tired of it. The same thing that this man is facing in Indiana happened to me on the south side of Chicago. The terrorism is right here in America.
my remarks, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. President. And we are going to do every single thing that we can in this nation of laws. I intend to change every single law in this country to report what the heckler was just saying there. But anyway, I stand with the family of Salas Resort. I stand with the Islamic community here. There's a polling. I stand with everyone, no matter your thoughts, there's no who sees this as an injustice. Thank you so much. I urge colleagues to vote to adopt this.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to my colleague, Alderman Robert, for this motion. I'm not going to go into full details. I'm just going to speak about Salah, a person who I know as a young man, becoming a first-time father back in 2008, and since I met him, Salah did own a furniture store on Club Belief that's called Furniture. As a young man, in the first place and having a child who was now going to be 18 on Friday and have a full ride to Howard University, he saw me with my newborn, with my child's mother, and a little less than money far as trying to furnish a full house in Salah. As kind as he was, did the best he can with what he had to provide me and my family with a full house. And he continued full house of furniture at a significant discount rate. The years I've known Salah and the years following that act of gesture, knowing he's helped hundreds of thousands of families alike. And I consider him a friend. I consider him a great man, and it's a travesty that he has endured. I stand with everyone that urged to free him. I understand that tensions is high, and we should use our voices to up the platform, not only just for Salah, to anyone, and I especially. Whoever, we really need to continue to uplift those that are wrongfully justice. So, I'll be supporting this motion, and thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Not like to be added on as a co-sponsor, so we might be.
Mr. President, I want to thank Alderman Bauer and Alderman Moore for bringing this immediate adoption forward today. As many of you know, I've been an advocate for immigrants across the great state of Wisconsin my entire career. And if I could sum up the detention of Sarah in one word, it would be outrageous. It is unbelievable that this legal permanent resident, this Wisconsinite, would be snatched off the streets of Milwaukee with no due process.
Yep.
And I think about the statement that I put out with Alderman Brower when this first happened. I posted it on my Facebook, and the number of comments that were anti-immigrant and xenophobic and Islamophobic, of course, was devastating to me, and I was aghast. But what really came through is the misinformation and the ignorance that people have around immigrants in our country and in our great state. Salah Sauer may not have been a U.S. citizen, but he is a legal permanent resident.
Yes, he is.
And he has due process rights as much as the fifth generation German American Wisconsinite has.
Yes.
So does Salah.
Yes.
Every day we have to fight, we have to advocate, and we have to insist that he be released. I just cannot believe that this would happen in this day and age. And so I want to thank again my colleagues for putting this forward today, and I am proud to sign on and co-sponsor this with you.
Love you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and I'll be brief, and I just want to, thank my colleague for his courage. When we do these sorts of things, it's not for show, it's like, these are people's lives. I had a conversation with him yesterday, and I said, you know what, it could have been me. It's not that long ago that I received my citizenship, and as older person, that Rima mentioned, you know, we have residents here that are legal, permanent residents.
Yes.
Have that due process in our community, in our country, it's abhorrent. And so I'm grateful and thankful for those that have signed on and that, you know, the testimony of Alderman Chambers, just his personal relationship. And I did not know Mr. Salah personally, but there's so many individuals here in this city that are doing so many great things for our community.
Yes.
Taking a stand shows our community and shows our residents that care. We give a damn.
You know it. You know it.
Okay, any further discussion? I have myself as a co-sponsor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call please. Oh, excuse me. Hearing no discussion, Alderman Brower moves adoption. The clerk please call the roll.
Alderwoman Craig. Chambers.
Aye.
Brower.
Aye.
Bowman.
Aye.
Westmoreland.
Excuse.
Cox. Aye. Jackson.
Excuse.
Zemmerman.
Aye.
Taylor. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Burgillis.
Aye.
Spiker.
Aye.
Stanford.
Aye.
Mr. President.
Aye.
12 ayes. 3 excused.
12 ayes, 3 excused. Now we'll move into, are there any announcements? Chair recognizes Alderman Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. President. This morning we got the news about the passing of Dan Bites. Dan Bites is a one-of-a-kind journalist. He never glitched, he never coasted, he never let powerful people get comfortable, including many of us here in this room. For decades at the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, he asked questions that others would, chased facts that others missed, and held a bright, unrelenting light on public life. Now, he didn't have to agree with it to respect it. He was calling. He knew it was time to make the work back straight. His work made our institution stronger, our politics sharper, and most importantly, our community more informed. That kind of fearless accountability doesn't come around often. It is exactly what is needed now more than ever in today's political program. We express our condolences to his family. But as always, remember his fighting spirit and we push forward to our residents every day.
Chair recognizes Alderman Stanford.
I have an important announcement, but I'd like to call you. Wait, okay, come back to me, Mr. President.
Any other announcements? Chair recognizes Alderman Stanford.
Thank you, Mr. President.